Man Tom, and I have got a round 2 model review for you.
Hey everybody, Model Man Tom here with session 2 of the 1350 Original Enterprise Kit Reviews. We've already taken a look at the plastic, and that is definitely a gorgeous thing. Coming into just about 33 inches. Over here, we've got the accessory kits, 6 of them. And over here, we've got the supplemental parts pack featuring extra pieces to make the first and second pilot versions of the ship. Coming up next, MKA-005, the Deluxe Accessory Set with the lighting kit, photo etch, weathering decals. Over here, MKA-007, just the lighting kit alone. I don't know if the Deluxe kit comes with those colored clear parts because they are specifically pointed out on this box and not specifically pointed out here. However, we'll get to it and see. MKA-008, the weathering decals. MKA-009, the photo etch sheet. And finally, MKA-010, the registry decals for all the other versions of the ship. So you see that there are some post-it notes here. Those are requests from Jamie. Basically, these are pre-production sale samples for round 2. So he needs these back in pretty much the same condition he's giving them to me. So for example, I can't open these 2 packs, but they are included in the Deluxe Accessory Set, and I can open that. There's a couple other notes for the accessory set, and this guy here looks like I can open, and the only note is that it's going to come with a cardboard backer for the final version. So we'll take a look at those, we'll take a look at the lighting kit, the accessory set, the supplemental parts pack, basically everything you see here. And there's definitely some gorgeous stuff going on. So let me move the plastic out of the way, and let's take them in order. MKA-004, the supplemental parts pack. So first things first, let's take a look at the box itself. Normally with all these reviews, I take pictures of the box, do the 3D rotates of them. In this case, I want to get this out to you guys as fast as possible, so I'm kind of skipping that. And we'll take a look at things as I go. So we've got alternate nacelle rear caps. There should be 2 sets of those, I imagine. One of them has just the straight bar going up and down the back side there. Alternate impulse engines, and alternate bridge dome and BC deck, keeping in mind that this entire piece comes out of the original model. New nacelle front caps. I doubt that's metal, but it certainly looks like it. The deflector dish, neck and windows, inboard nacelle trench, registry and marking decals because they did use different lettering on the original ship. The intercoolers and the navigation beacons, it looks like those are different as well. Now, one of the things that you have to do is when you're building the model, I'm pretty sure that all of these accessory packs come with their own set of directions, so you have to cut and splice those directions into your own build as you go along. So first up, looks like 2 sprue of clear plastic. Second up, yes indeed, 2 different versions of the end caps for the nacelles, and a different dish, and geez, that is huge. Inboard nacelle trenches, also different. What else have we got? An entirely different neck. Different set of decals, the instructions, and the standard round 2 marketing paraphernalia. So let me lay this out and we'll take a closer look. And so quickly reading over the directions for the supplemental parts pack, I noticed a few particular things that required me to pull out some of the other parts. For example, I also wanted to see how much of a difference the neck was, and thinking about it, this makes sense, is that with the 1/1000th kit, they simply give you a different set of window decals. In the 1350 kit, they need to give you an entirely different neck because the window placements are completely different. Then over here, you'll note that the instructions have, look for these symbols on the inside of the part. There's a triangle, a square, and over on this side of the directions, there's also a circle. So if you look at the secondary hull, we have a few triangles next to windows, which means you fill them. There's a few circles, which means you drill that out, and there should be a square around. I don't see one on this side, but it could be on the other. So regardless, there's a lot of stuff you're going to have to look at before you build the kit, depending on which ship you're going to do. So it's going to get complicated, and I'm sure just about anybody can handle it. Anybody that has the real dedication to follow instructions, and this is definitely one model where you're going to have to follow the instructions and read them first. Go figure. So on this side of the instructions, we've got the first pilot. So again, you drill out some particular windows, fill in some others. It's mostly decal placement. There's some color notes, like the Bussard becomes Crimson, British Crimson 2009, and the tip becomes paint gold. Easy enough. You omit some parts, replace some other parts. For example, you get rid of the clear dome from the regular kit and replace it with that one. For the bridge, you take out the old one and put in this one, and the cell caps, and so on and so forth. Flipping over, basically the same thing, except in this case it's the second pilot version of the ship. So some things change, some things don't. It's probably going to be mostly window placement, decals, and painting instructions. Take a look at the decals themselves. This is slightly different lettering because that was redone for the actual pilot ship. Additional decals such as those guys there. Not too much tough going on right there. The pieces themselves are pretty darn huge, but it's a pretty darn huge kit. So as I mentioned with the neck, it is slightly different, so if you take a look at the window placements there and pause the video, you can really study how much of a difference there is. And then flipping it over, you get some other differences as well. Clear parts look all straightforward. You've got some different navigation beacons, the windows for the bridge dome and the neck, and of course the new Bussards. The bridge itself, that's definitely a lot taller, and I'm sure the window placement is different on the BC deck. Over here on these end caps, I imagine most modelers are going to want to drill these holes out and put a styrene backing back there. But I'm sure you could just do a black wash, let the paint settle in there, and you'll pretty much get a similar effect. These are pretty cool. The impulse deck is pretty cool. And then if we flip this over, that dish is just freaking huge. I was kind of surprised to see on the inner rails for the nacelles that there is no detail on either side of them. Clearly this is the back side because it's got these pour spouts. But on the front side it's pretty much smooth, except for the notch where that piece of plastic goes. I don't remember what it's called. Sorry about that. I guess I'm not that much of a geek. But I do love this ship, that's for darn certain. So that's pretty much it. What have we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 30 parts, maybe 40 parts. So you're going to wind up with a lot of extras on your regular kit if you do decide to use these. And extras even if you don't decide to use them, simply because you've got extra end caps, an extra deck, an extra dish, so on and so forth. Alright, so that was nice and easy, nice and fast. So next up, let's go to MKA 005, and that one does have some restrictions on what I can and cannot open. So we'll take a look at that now.